The CNN Center in Atlanta, Georgia, is the world headquarters of the cable news network. The main newsrooms and studios for several of CNN's news channels are located in the building. The CNN Center is located in downtown Atlanta. Released in 1939, Gone with the Wind still proves its enduring vitality in the hearts of audiences, when topping the list of the 100 most successful films of all time in terms of revenue in the US. These are the results of a poll by the Film Daily Screen Digest. The film, which won 9 Oscars, has just been voted as the film with the most audiences of all time in the history of British cinema. Since its release in 1939, Gone with the Wind has brought in $3.4 billion, still falling short of the $4 billion in box office revenue earned by Titanic or Avenger. Gone with the Wind, first published in 1936, is a melodrama by Margaret Mitchell, who won the Pulitzer Prize for this work in 1937. The story is set in Georgia and Atlanta, Southern United States during the Civil War and Reconstruction time. The work revolves around Scarlett O'Hara, a strong Southern girl who must find a way to survive the war and overcome the difficult life in the post-war era. The novel was made into a film in 1937. Scarlett O'Hara uses the title phrase when she asks herself whether her home in Tara is still standing or has been gone with the wind that sweeps across Georgia. In general terms, Gone with the Wind is a metaphor for the departure of a life that had existed in the South before the Civil War. The World of Coca-Cola is a museum located in Atlanta, Georgia, showcasing the history of the Coca-Cola Company. The 20-acre complex opened to the public on May 24, 2007, relocating from and replacing the original exhibit, which was founded in 1990 in underground Atlanta. There are various similar World of Coca-Cola stores in locations such as Las Vegas and Disney Springs. The original World of Coca-Cola was located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, at 55 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, between the Georgia State Capitol and the underground Atlanta Shopping and Entertainment District. The museum opened in 1990 and would remain open until 2007. The original World of Coca-Cola saw around 9 million visitors during its years of operation, becoming Atlanta's most visited indoor attraction until it was surpassed by the Georgia Aquarium in 2009. The museum was inspired to serve as a continuation of Coca-Cola history dating back to 1886. During this time, Dr. John S. Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta, created a unique soft drink with a specific flavor syrup that was highly popular. Frank M. Robinson, his partner and bookkeeper, is responsible for the name of Coca-Cola as well as the well-known design of the script. The museum was located in a 3-story pavilion, and its entrance has a huge neon Coca-Cola sign. This sign was built by Metals Manufacturing in West Valley, Utah. The tour started on the top floor and worked downwards, featuring approximately 1,000 Coca-Cola artifacts, presented in chronological order. Interactive exhibits, such as a replica in the 1930s soda fountain, video presentations of Coca-Cola advertising over the years, and a 10-minute film about Coke around the world. The tour featured Spectacular Fountain, where visitors were allowed to sample various Coke products. At the Taste of the States area in the same room, guests were able to try 22 different soft drink brands, some available only regionally. The Taste of the World exhibit was located in the International Lounge. There was also a gift shop. The Georgia state government acquired the former World of Coca-Cola building for $1.1 million after Coca-Cola vacated the facility in 2007. The state legislators have proposed to install a state history museum in the building, but no action has been taken due to the cost of refurbishing the old World of Coca-Cola building, as well as the lack of funding to do so. The Atlanta Museum was relocated to 121 Baker Street in Atlanta, just blocks away from where John Pemberton created the original Coca-Cola formula. The 92,000 square foot building was constructed at a cost of $97 million and opened in 2007. It is located in Atlanta, Georgia, where the company's headquarters are located, at the Pemberton Place, named in honor of John Pemberton. The 20-acre complex is located across Baker Street from Centennial Olympic Park and is also home to the Georgia Aquarium and the Center for Civil and Human Rights. It opened to the public on May 24, 2007, relocating from and replacing the original exhibit. The museum features exhibits about the secret formula of Coca-Cola, a 4D movie where an intrepid scientist and his assistant set out to find the secret for themselves, and allows visitors to taste 60 different flavors from around the world. It also houses a fully functional bottling line that produces 8-ounce bottles of Coca-Cola for distribution to its guests. However, citing operation costs, since 2013, the plant runs in a simulation as such practice is discontinued. Georgia Aquarium is a public aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Georgia Aquarium is home to hundreds of species and thousands of animals across its 7 major galleries, all of which reside in more than 11 million U.S. gallons of fresh and salt water. It was the largest aquarium in the world from its opening in 2005 until 2012, when it became the 3rd largest aquarium in the world after the Marine Life Park in Singapore and the Chimelong Ocean Kingdom in China. The Georgia Aquarium remains the largest aquarium in the United States and in the Western Hemisphere. A $250 million donation from the Foundation of Local Businessmen and the Home Depot co-founder Barnett Marcus provided the bulk of the funding needed to build and stock the new facility. The aquarium's notable specimens include whale sharks, beluga whales, California sea lions, bottlenose dolphins, and manta rays. Stone Mountain is a quartz monzonite dome monadnock and the site of Stone Mountain Park, 60 miles east of Atlanta, Georgia. Outside the park is the small city of Stone Mountain, Georgia. The park is the most visited tourist site in the state of Georgia. The park is owned by the state of Georgia and managed by Hatchen Family Entertainment. At its summit, the elevation is 1,686 feet above sea level and 825 feet above the surrounding area. Stone Mountain is well known for not only its geology, but also the enormous rock relief on its north face, the largest bas-relief artwork in the world. The carving, completed in 1972, depicts 3 Confederate leaders, Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. Stone Mountain, once owned by the Vanderbilt brothers, was seen from the outset as a memorial site to the Confederacy. Stone Mountain Park is officially opened on April 14, 1965, 100 years to the day after Lincoln's assassination, although the park had already been used for a few years. The mountain, which ranges from composition to quartz monzonite to granite and granodiorite, is more than 5 miles in circumference at its base. The summit of the mountain can be reached by a walk-up trail on the west side of the mountain or by the Skyride aerial tram. Human habitation of the Stone Mountain and its surroundings date back into prehistory. The mountain was first encountered by European explorers. Its summit was encircled by a rock wall, similar to that is still to be found in Georgia's Fort Mountain. The wall is believed to have been built by early Native American inhabitants of the area, although its purpose remains unclear. By the beginning of the 20th century, the wall had disappeared, the rocks having been taken away by early visitors as souvenirs, rolled down the rock face, or removed by the commercial quarrying operation. The mountain was the eastern end of the Campbellton Trail, a Native American path that ran through what is now the Atlanta area. Europeans first learned of the mountain in 1567, when Spanish explorers were told of a mountain farther inland, which was very high, shining when the sun set like a fire. By this time, the Stone Mountain area was inhabited by the Creek, and to a lesser extent, Cherokee peoples. During the 19th century, the area was known as Rock Mountain, after the founding of the DeKalb County and the county seat of Decatur in 1822. Stone Mountain was a natural recreation area. It was common for young couples on dates to ride to the mountain on horseback. The mountain is easy to climb, and there has been a path since the 19th century. Entrepreneur Aaron Cloud built a 165 feet wooden observation tower at the summit of the mountain in 1838, but it was destroyed by a storm and replaced by a much smaller tower in 1851. Visitors to the mountain would travel to the area by rail and road, then walk up the 1.1-mile mountain top trail to the top, where Cloud also had a restaurant and club. Granite quarrying started at the mountain in the 1830s, but became a major industry following the completion of a railroad spur to the quarry site in 1847. This line was rebuilt by the Georgia Railroad in 1869. Over the years, Stone Mountain granite was used in many buildings and structures, including the locks of Panama Canal, the steps to the east wing of the United States Capitol, and the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo. In recent years, granite suppliers in Georgia sent stone samples cut from Stone Mountain to a group responsible for planning the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. The foundation later chose to use granite imported from China. Quarrying during the earlier periods had also destroyed several spectacular geological features on Stone Mountain, such as the Devil's Crossroads, which was located on top of the mountain. In 1887, Stone Mountain was purchased for $45,000 by the Venable brothers of Atlanta, who quarried the mountain for more than 24 years, and descendants of the Venable family would retain ownership of the mountain until it was purchased by the state of Georgia in 1958. Martin Luther King Jr. mentioned the monument in his I Have a Dream speech in August 1963 march on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, when he said, "Let freedom ring on the Stone Mountain of Georgia." During the 1996 Summer Olympics, Stone Mountain Park provided venues for Olympic events in tennis, archery, and track cycling. The venues for archery and cycling were temporary and are now part of the Songbird and Habitat Trail. Some of the outdoor scenes for the Netflix Stranger Things were filmed in the park.